Have you heard of Daryl Enka? Not sure if he's crazy or a fraudster, but he claims to be able to communicate with / speak to an alien named Bashar. Bashar, huh? I'm unfamiliar with the cosmic entity known as Bashar, but I'd like to get familiar with them. Messenger of good news. Bashar, how to attract anything into your life by going gamma state. Huh?
Many of you are familiar with some of the different frequency states of your brain, and you know that
yeah, 93.3 the hits. Yeah, I know those frequencies.
Different kinds of modalities, different kinds of perspectives.
So this is Bashar talking to us right now, right? I'm guessing he's in his channeling stance. He's got like the TN tri-beam going with his hand, so I'm assuming this is the alien Bashar speaking to us through Daryl.
Many of you are also not familiar with the idea called the gamma state, which is between...
Did he just fart? Was that Bashar or Daryl that tooted?
Which is between 40 and 100 cycles
Man, just shot himself.
In your brain.
Cosmically. Quantumly.
In the typical channeling state. And this particular vibration allows you to experience in the neurological net of your brain more cohesiveness, more acceleration, more connection, more synchronization.
A lot of good buzzwords here,
while
Bashar.
Also simultaneously allowing certain neural pathways to actually close down. That is the gamma state, also typically called the channeling.
Reading comments always make, like, this is all well and good. If you want to pretend to channel an alien and just spout a bunch of gobbledygook, all power to you. But it's the comments that actually just make me feel so sad. This resonates with me very much. Bashar says out loud what has been running in my head all along. Thank you for confirming that I am receiving the right information from my higher self. Oh my god, he's been teaching us how to access flow state all this time, which is something I've wanted for a long time. On top of that, he's saying flow state is the key to manifestation. Wow. It's like he's saying to a kid the key to life is to eat cake. Lots and lots of cake. Perhaps maybe I just don't understand the gamma state. Maybe I need to lock into flow state and then I'll be able to dunk on a 10-foot hoop. Perhaps I'm not being receptive to the wisdom of Bashar, the cosmic being. Wait, Danica Patrick has a YouTube channel? And she interviewed Daryl and Bashar? What in the world? Bashar predicts humanity's coming great shift in 2024. Prepare yourself now. Bashar Sedana workshop. Oh my god, he goes in front of a class?
Hi everyone. Hi.
Hey.
Someone who's lost in the song, an actor who becomes the part, in essence, is in a channeling state. But in that state, you can also access other portions of your own consciousness. You can access...
Oh, so Bashar lives inside of him.
Portions of information from throughout the universe.
Jekyll and Hyde style.
And make connections with other beings, other dimensions, what have you, depending on how you wish to focus the idea of that channel.
He's interdimensionally traveling.
For me, this began... I received what I experienced to be a telepathic connection from Bashar and his people.
Okay.
In that one instant, an actual memory came back of having made an agreement with Bashar to do this before this life.
Okay.
I understood in that moment that the UFO had been shown to me on purpose to get me to go in the direction I needed to go, so that by the time it was time for me to fulfill that agreement I had made, I would be ready. And
it's almost like the Rocco's Basilisk paradox. Very cool. Daryl, this is incredible stuff. What was the agreement? You'd agree to be his vessel so he could be a motivational speaker on Earth? That seems like a very underwhelming use of this cosmic being's powers. You're telling me that Bashar decides to use his abilities to just tell people to brush their teeth and eat well? And, like, have a positive mindset? That seems like a complete waste. Look at his website and his store. He's written 200 books since the 200 books since the 1980s. Jesus Christ, Bashar. You should show your dad this video. My dad doesn't believe in any of this shit. My dad just believes in the aliens building the pyramids. I don't know what to tell you. That's like the one, that's pretty much it. Like, this kind of shit he would absolutely laugh at. He wouldn't text me being like, Charlie, you hear what Bashar said today about our horoscopes? Isn't that some shit? Like, that. My dad doesn't believe in that. Can Bashar take over like Sukuna? I don't think so. I think so. He was describing the channeling state. I think he needs to get into the zone. And if he's not in the zone, I don't think Bashar has like a door to get there. I don't think the alien planet is sending their best. Yeah, maybe Bashar is kind of like a dweeb on his homeworld. But to us, well, not to us. To Daryl, he's super cool.
Bashar is really another entity, or whether it's a portion of my own consciousness or whatever. The altered state is real. The information seems to have the ability to help people do what they need to do to make the kind of changes they need to make in their lives. And for that reason, I figured that's reason enough to go ahead and see where this goes.
I didn't expect that. He's like, oh, so it could be an alien, an interdimensional being, or it could just be some part of my subconscious while I'm conscious. No, I like the channeling community. There was another channeler I used to watch frequently. God, what was his name? He was the one that would channel the Yael. I'll just do that. He was the one that was like, you will send your best and brightest to school this morning. It's a very good day for learning. Blasting at you live from the Yael headquarters. That guy? Who was that? Does anyone remember? No, this isn't the guy. It was an older guy. Yael were very talkative through a bunch of different channelers, but there's one in particular I'm referring to, and I can't remember his name. No, it is him. He made a rap song about them called Bringing in the Yael. Thanks for your subcav. I don't think it is, though. He was much older, unless the Yael de-aged him.
The ones we are of Ashtar Command, we are of the Pleiadians, we are of the Pleiadian civilization, of the Pleiadian consciousness.
Billionaire Boys Club. Isn't that Kevin Spacey's movie?
Move through these ripples of time-space as your civilization, as your solar system moves into a new era of the galaxy, a new area of the galaxy, and a new
We
era.
moved to a new area of the
civilization.
galaxy?
The idea is that there are time fields, time-space equations.
Wonderful message. It repeated everything I've been seeing in my meditation. In your meditations, you've been seeing that we're changing the area of where we're located in the galaxy. That would cause such an immense change in daily life as we know it. That would be immediately recognizable. That couldn't just happen without us knowing. Oh, here we go. Bringing in the Yael music video with footage of Yael ship. Wait, this is huge. He's got footage from inside of their spacecraft?
Bringing in the Yael, bringing in the Yael, our family from the stars, on earth they will dwell. Bringing in the Yael, bringing in the Yael.
The kind of music to throw your ass in a circle to.
Bringing in the Yael, bringing in the Yael to get this party popping.
I feel like I've actually heard this before. I think you're right.
Rocking, and you know it's a boat that desperately needs to be rocked. We may all come together, there will go the shadow government. And I know you're thinking retribution, but it'll be different. Let me clear up this confusion. Cause
whoa!
It's gonna be love. We ain't gonna give them
Damn.
nothing but kisses and hugs.
Yeah. Kiss and hug them.
And then
Yep.
extension of you. I know it's hard to discard the old ways of war, but see it through. Cause there ain't no ours. We bringing in the yeah.
It actually might be the same guy. I could be misremembering. I thought he was much older. Because I'm pretty sure I've heard that song. That definitely opened some neural pathways the Yael wanted closed in my brain. Oh, this is a classic. This one's a classic. Teen girl abducted by praying mantis alien. Ancient alien. I've got to send that to my dad. My dad loves ancient aliens. How the fuck? Really, Dad? A girl abducted by a praying mantis alien? Ancient aliens. Aliens in disguise. Warn researcher. We've taken many humans. God damn it. Channeling the ninth dimensional Pleiadian collective. Interview with extra dimensionals. Here we go.
Yes, hello, dear. This is the Ninth Dimensional Pleiadian Collective, and it is a pleasure and an honor to have the opportunity to connect with you. So,
nice to meet you.
In a short time today, we think we're going to cover a pretty lengthy or a pretty substantial amount of ground. So we're very, very excited. So thank you for the opportunity to connect.
Absolutely.
What's very interesting to me is all of these like ninth dimensional beings that are able to be channeled through these goobers are always just on standby. It's like they're waiting to be channeled. They must be like maybe interns of the other ninth dimensional Pleiadian society. Like they just have to sit around like fucking phone operators waiting for some human to channel them. That sounds like so boring. Yeah, just actually channeling a call center. Why does no one ever channel like a really aggressive alien? Or like a really cool one, like, hey, sorry, I can't talk right now. I'm fucking 5 3-titted alien babes. Call back in a moment. Then break connection. Nothing ever like that. It's always like, oh, it's such an honor to be speaking with all of you on Earth. This is a ninth dimensional Pleiadian collective reporting in live. What do you want to know? You need to watch Daryl connect to Bashar. It's hilarious. I just watched Daryl connecting to Bashar. Or does he have like a ritual for it? Alright, he's jacking into the upside down. Assuming athletic stance. Oh, good crack.
Sorry.
No apologies. Do what you need to do to get the aliens on the horn. Oh! Picked up a bad frequency there. Oh shit! We're losing him! He's going too deep! Bashar, let this man go! Where's the holy water? That actually sounds like Darth Vader's mask. Holy shit. What cool noises. Now, if he actually starts levitating, then I'll be impressed. No!
Boy, I'll say good day to you this day of your time.
Hey!
How are you all?
Don't yell at me, Bashar. What the fuck, man?
All right, I will take that as an okay.
Does he have an
First
accent?
of all, we would like to thank each and every one of you individually, and all of you together collectively.
I love how he put on an accent for Bashar this time, but then later on he got rid of it. He's like, I don't want to do that anymore. Bashar just lost his accent, his dialect. He outgrew. The old Yell guy you were thinking of is Sean Swanson. Is it? Hey, it's my boy. I think this is him, right? Yeah.
The idea of, from your perspective, not of Earth, but human beings.
Yeah. See, I knew it.
Very
I knew it.
Similar in appearance to that then that you are familiar with Earth humans and your planet. We then are of another planetary location, and in that we actually have an origination of more...
Why do the Yael talk like that? Can you ask your dad to confirm if the garden alien from the Alien Bodies subreddit is real? Is there another alien body floating around like the ones in Mexico? Let me take a peek. Alien Bodies? I'm unfamiliar with that subreddit. This looks like the thing from Harry Potter when they pull up like the screaming plant. This is thought-provoking. So is this a satire subreddit or is this like real? Different nostrils, but it appears to have the nipples. My god, it does. So we're not so different after all. Searching through these posts, but I don't understand what's going on here. Are people claiming this is a mandrake root and that the posters are all hoaxers? What are we looking at here? Obviously they, whatever they are, look visually interesting and sort of humanoid, but surely someone is not just sitting around with these things if they're actual biologics of some sort. First thing you do if you have actual bodies is you go straight to Ross Coulthart or George Knapp. I don't know who they are. Not post it on Reddit and ask Redditors what they think it is. Not a match. The fingers look different. Where are the fingers on this thing? Forbidden potato. It does look potato-esque. It's definitely just some sort of prop. Like, this isn't this isn't a fucking alien. There's no way. I do love the nipples on it, though. That is adorable. Muda made a video on this? How? What? Muda already made a video on this. When? Muda covered this in a 20-minute video. It was made by some guy who makes cursed items. Case closed. It's been a thing for days now. And nobody told me? You know I love this shit. What do you think real aliens would look like? I've said this 100 times and I'll say it 100 more. I think real aliens look insectoid. That is what I imagine. I don't think they will resemble anything close to humanoid. Not even remotely close. But would they have a cloaca? They probably wouldn't pee or poop. I don't know. Well, they'd have to. There has to be some way of getting out waste. Or maybe they're so efficient they don't have any waste. Hear about the U.S. Army pilot who allegedly spent 3 months on an alien mothership and even hung out with 2 of the aliens. Is it these 2 right here? And why wouldn't he give us more information? Like, why didn't they give him their contact info? Look it up. His story sounds pretty legit, I swear. How does his story sound legit? He hung out with 2 aliens over the course of 3 months? Humans to find alien ruins soon, says ex-U.S. Army pilot who claims he spent 3 months on a UFO. Alex Collier, who served time as a helicopter pilot in the Army, claims he spoke to 2 aliens in the 1980s. A former United States Army helicopter pilot claims to have spent 3 months on an alien mothership and has said that humans will find ancient alien ruins in the universe soon. Alex Collier, I just read that. He allegedly spent time with aliens known as Andromedans, who were called Visasis and Moroani. This guy is writing fanfic. What the fuck? Why would they have human names? He wouldn't be able to understand them. What? They take a Rosetta Stone course or something to communicate with Alex? This man had a mental breakdown or a really bad ayahuasca trip. He insists his encounter with the aliens was so extraordinary that he was taken onto their spaceship. There he was forced to wear a special belt so the aliens could communicate with him over 3 months. Oh my god, that's so convenient. Yeah, I'm sure. They actually put the fucking Wumbo belt from SpongeBob on him. Amazing. The ex-pilot claims that this strange encounter happened in the 1960s when he was a child. He recounted that fell asleep outside his grandfather's home while playing hide-and-seek. When he woke up, he found himself in a dark room where he met Visasis and Moroani. He spent nearly 3 months with them on the UFO as per his claim. However, that only transpired to 18 minutes in Earth time due to time dilation or alternate dimensions. He had a dream! He fell asleep. Yeah, you know what? I actually went to an alternate dimension last night. You guys wouldn't believe the shit I saw there. It was crazy. Shit was unreal. You can't prove that he's lying. I hate that argument. The alien duo apparently told him that humans are not alone in the universe and that there are many other alien races. During a talk he gave in Japan in 2007, he said, "Our science tells us that there are 100 billion galaxies, but we are only looking at one dimension. According to the Andromedans, there are 100 trillion galaxies, and every galaxy has life in it. We are far from being alone. The universe is vast. We are just beginning to travel space, and we are going to find ruins everywhere." Why would they communicate with a fucking child if they're trying to get a message to us? A random child. In the 1960s. This kid. He'll be the one. He'll be our vessel. He added, "I once asked the Andromedans how technologically advanced we were, and they said that the United States Army is 400 years more technologically advanced than we think they are." What does that mean? What? I once asked the Andromedans. I'm drawing a blank. They're communicating on an alternate dimension. This belt must have malfunctioned because there's no way that's a direct translation from Visasis. What does that mean? What does that mean? What? Then who thinks they are? Then the United States thinks they are? Then a child thinks they are? Then the aliens think they are? What is it? Who? It's in the military's interest to obfuscate. So the Andromedans are trying to reveal government secrets through a child. They don't know. They don't want us to know about Area 51, and Visasis was trying to protect us. Visasis, one of the aliens, allegedly told Mr. Collier that humans are the only race on Earth that use money. No shit! We're the only race on Earth that use money? We're the only race on Earth that's fucking sentient! We're the only race on Earth, like, the only species that does that. Of course. Do you mean the universe? Is Visasis illiterate? Did he just get, like, abducted by two dumb aliens, like actual idiots? Like fucking morons in their galaxy? From that moment on, Visasis would only refer to money as paper with pictures on it. Jesus, he's a pretentious Redditor. He got abducted by the worst aliens the galaxy had to offer. Or rather, the dimension had to offer. Probed a little too deep. Yeah, they went way too far on that one. We lost them. Octopus use currency to pay for things? I guess I don't know enough about how octopi function in the wild, but they're not using money. How about that? Maybe they use some kind of currency for trade, but they're not using the USD or the euro or rubles or anything. They're using fucking octopus tokens. What do you even find down there? Can we get Charles Sr. to firsthand explain to us in chat how pyramids are made by aliens? My dad and I have been really we have been talking about that so much recently. He really wanted me to watch Ancient Aliens Pyramid episode, so I did. That was so fucking silly, it was unreal. So then I ended up doing a deep dive on some more Ancient Aliens, and I ended up showing him one of the episodes where they thought that, aliens were crossbreeding with robots, and Sasquatch was actually an alien or something. A YouTuber named Gabby Bell also made a video on it too. But I started showing him, like, how ridiculous some of the Ancient Aliens episodes and concepts were. And he's like, yeah, oh, that's super stupid. That's all a bunch of bullshit and a bunch of mumbo-jumbo. But the pyramids, they're absolutely right about. They know their shit when it comes to the pyramids. I'm like, Dad, what the fuck? 99% of the things they say you disagree with, but the one thing there you think they nailed is the pyramids being built by aliens? He's like, yep, absolutely. They know their shit there. It's sad how ancient humans are so much underestimated. I tried to tell him that. My dad really believes that ancient civilization was just a bunch of fucking bumbling fools. He's like, there's no way they were smart enough to even know what a pyramid would be. And I'm like, Dad, they weren't dumb. They weren't stupid. Like, we came from them. Like, they obviously had some level of advancements. Like, there's so many good astronomers back in the day. Like, they were smart. Like, they were smart people still. He's like, nope. Dummies. Bunch of dummies. And, like, the reason pyramids got built in the first place is because a pyramid is, like, the most structurally sound structure you can make, which is why there's so many all over the world from ancient civilizations. But he refused to take that answer. He's like, nope, they wouldn't know that. Aliens taught them that. I'm like, damn it, Dad. No, they didn't. Didn't someone make a really primitive computer in Greece or something? You're talking about... It is Greece. You're talking about the, what's it called? What was the name of it? Here it is. The Antikythera mechanism. Our society could look a lot different today if this was able to continue to be built upon. This is an extremely advanced piece of tech from back in the day. I remember we watched something on this a long time ago. Does it use Windows? No, it's Linux-based. This shit was crazy. I recommend checking it out, looking into it a bit. I think it was the BBC that made something on it. Flintstones tech. Hey, it was some sophisticated Flintstones tech though, brother. Imagine ancient humans were able to build 4090s. I really think society today would look so different if this was able to keep being advanced. It was way ahead of its time. I recently got into a massive argument with my own chat about aliens visiting Earth, which is a crazy war to have fought. You know, it was a bloody battle. I'm sure most of you know, because I've talked about it before, my dad is super into aliens. He firmly believes they've helped us build the pyramids, given us fiber optic internet. you know, I'm surprised he hasn't started talking about aliens, how they farted 5G onto our planet or something. Like, he's big into the aliens thing and always has been since I was a kid, so I've been inundated with all kinds of alien stuff ever since I was young. So I have loved the field, but I have never been a believer that aliens have ever visited this planet, ever. I do think there is life outside of our planet, obviously, in the massive, unfathomably huge scope of the universe. I think it's unlikely there's no other life out there, but I don't think it's ever visited us. It would have to have somehow found fast and light travel, wormhole, something, which is so far above our comprehension that if they did actually do it, we wouldn't have even been able to process them visiting us, I imagine. Like, it is just so well beyond us that I just don't think it's happened. So I have been firmly against the idea that aliens have visited us, but I've always been open-minded in wanting it to be true. I would love to be able to fist bump my dad, be like, hey, Pops, you were right. And here's proof of the aliens having visited us. I did a keg stand with one of them at my frat brother's last party. Like, that'd be great, you know? But I've just never seen any compelling evidence about it. And we got to talking about it on stream, and a couple of chatters were very adamant that I was off my gourd for not believing every single abduction story ever told and every single sighting ever made, including the recent Las Vegas one, which was confirmed to just be casino lights reflected in the fucking sky, but they're writing that off as it was like a cover-up for aliens. Like, it's outrageous. In order to convert me to their side, to believe in them, to persuade me, they would tell like these anecdotes. Like, I read this story once on these forums where, you know, this guy's friend Eric was playing basketball in his driveway one evening, and then all of a sudden everything went white and his memory was erased, but he had his butthole prolapse. Like, the anal prolapse is signs of the aliens having experimented on him, and he lost 6 hours of memories. Like, what? Like, how is that proof? Why am I supposed to take that at face value? But they would drop these things like the Eric butthole incident and have me look it up and be like, how can you not believe us? This is ridiculous. You're spitting in the face of real proof. So I was losing my goddamn mind having this argument with them, and eventually we ended up going to something called like the Ariel School incident, which is a school in Zimbabwe which claims to have been visited by aliens, where 62 school children drew in crayon their encounter with a UFO and aliens who warned them about the future. And I got called crazy for doubting the legitimacy of it because you have 62 school students that drew very different crayon drawings that don't agree with one another. Some of the drawings have them coming down in a goddamn space potato. Others have like this elaborate, huge UFO, very generic. And then the aliens, they can't even agree on what they looked like. Some claim that they had long black hair, so literally fucking looking like me coming out of the spaceship. Some of them drew the aliens bald, like very generic alien baldness. Like, none of the kids' drawings even like agree with others. Like, it's such weak evidence, but they're using it as fact. Like, how could anyone doubt us when this exists? So I'm just going to show you some of the clips from the stream because it got heated. And then we opened Pandora's box and started talking about warp drives for some reason. It got off the rails. It got a little crazy. So I just wanted to show some of that. But I want to make it clear. I would love if there was real compelling evidence of aliens having visited us. Like actual encounters with aliens, that'd be great. And there have been government-released documents and footage from pilots and shit from unidentified flying aircrafts, this unidentified air phenomenon, but none of it's like aliens per se. It's just we don't fully understand exactly how it works, so it's unidentified as of the moment. It's never definitive proof of aliens being here. It's just we don't have a full explanation on it yet. But it could be. Yeah, it could be, and I find that stuff to be pretty interesting, but I don't view that as, hey, here's proof that extraterrestrials are here for some reason. But anyway, let me just show you how the stream went. A leading UFO expert has investigated dozens of sightings over an impressive 45-year career and says aliens don't come in peace and have an agenda. I wonder what the agenda is. They come down here just to read our dank memes, shitpost on Twitter. I wouldn't say they're peaceful due to the thousands of UFO abductions worldwide. I woke up and my ass is sore. Damn you, aliens! Not again! I've been a big fan of aliens shit, UFO investigative shit for a long time. I have never once read, watched, or listened to a compelling abduction story that made me be like, this man actually he got abducted. At no point did I ever once even remotely come close to believing any of the abduction stories. Have you seen that documentary about a guy with 9 alien kids? What is that? What are we talking? What? No, I can't say I've seen that. What the fuck does that? He has 9 kids with extraterrestrials? This man's spreading the humanity seed throughout the cosmos? There were 30 plus kids who saw aliens at their school and drew them. If there is one group that I trust more than anyone, it's kids. They're notorious for not having an imagination and not just going with what everyone else is doing. That's what I would hinge my alien evidence on, is children's drawings. Being in all black, possibly showing medium-long black hair. Were the aliens just clones of me or something? What do you mean? The aliens have normal human hair? Well, there's no hair here. One of them was bald, I guess. Maybe he got made fun of on the ship. Not only would the beings have to have somehow discovered faster-than-light travel to make it here, it would have somehow had to elude everyone else's gaze and have only a couple people, in this case 62 school children, see them. Like, the amount of crazy coincidence that must all occur for only a small group to see that is very unlikely. I'm ready to... There is nobody on the planet that wants alien encounters to be real more than me. If this has compelling evidence, I would be elated. I would love that. I want to believe. But it is so unbelievably unlikely, and all of the evidence is so shit that it's impossible, in good conscience, to believe that there are aliens that visit us periodically. The circumstances for such a thing to be true are very, 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 very low possibility. So for multiple days, there have been headlines of UFOs hovering over the skies of Zimbabwe. And the only evidence we have is some children's drawings. Surely that would be major fucking news. And also, why would the aliens just be hovering over Zimbabwe? What are they doing there? They're just hovering there, doing nothing. Standing there menacingly like the hash-slinging slasher. What would be the purpose? Why would they have come there? Let's go down this for a minute. So the aliens came here to warn us about the future. And the optimal way of warning us was to go to a small school in Zimbabwe and tell a group of children. That was the best way of delivering this warning of the future? They were talking about COVID. Imagine this is all very true. The aliens actually did just fucking boot, scoot, and boogie all the way down to Earth just to land here and be like, hey, there's this little thing called COVID. I'm letting you know it's right around the corner. No good. No good. Alright, good luck with that. We're out. We've done our job. Message delivered. I don't think they were visited by aliens warning us about the future. Let's play with that for just a moment. Going back to that. Not only were they intergalactic travelers, they're fucking time travelers, warning us about our future. That's another crazy technological leap. And if they're that smart, that advanced, why would they tell a group of children at a small school? And also, why would they ever even make direct contact with people? They could just transmit the message. There's millions of cases. So what you've just shown to me is you believe what everyone says. You don't believe anyone's making things up. You don't believe in people having, for example, a sleep terror, which a lot of it boils down to sleep paralysis, where they have these very real feelings at night, where they're half asleep, half dreaming, and a lot of it gets chalked up to sleep paralysis. So you don't believe in any of that. You don't believe in mass hysteria, I would imagine then. You don't believe in manifested group thinking, where if someone believes they saw something, other people mysteriously start to have memories or visions of the same thing. You just take everything at face value. And no one's ever lying. Oh, wow. Jesus, you're having a full meltdown. Anal probing isn't even a real thing, you moron. You get all your UFO info from fucking movies and TV. You get all of your UFO info from fucking TV, too! What do you mean? All of your sightings are on TV. What are you fucking talking about? And then you said reptilians are part of the aliens. And faster than light is an outdated theory. Warp drives are proven. You're misinformed. What are you... What? Are you having an episode of Psychosis? Jack Sarfati talks about the technology behind warp drives. Who mentioned fucking warp drives? I don't know why you're harping on that subject. That word had not left my mouth until I read your comment history of your 86 message meltdown. I'm not talking about fucking warp drives! Why do I need to do research on warp drives? That goddamn name didn't leave my mouth. He brought it up. But warp drives are an important part of alien lore. Maybe, but I wasn't talking about fucking warp drives. Jesus Christ. You asked for answers. On what? Warp drive? When did I ask for answers on warp drive? I want alien evidence. What the fuck are you talking about? Who am I talking? That is evidence? So, let's assume every alien has their own warp drive motorcycle. Why are they visiting trailer parks and fucking small schools to warn us about the future, then only telling children? That isn't an answer. You weirdo. That chatter didn't read jack shit. It's theoretical physicist, meaning it hasn't been put into effect and there's no way to test any theories. I don't care about warp drives if they're real or not. God damn it. Jesus fucking Christ. On r/UFO, a UAP filmed with good quality in slow-mo at the Miami Air and Sea Show. 3 videos from different angles. Ran the enhanced version of the spinning Miami UAP. What the fuck did... This? Bro, if that is an alien spacecraft, they have got to be the most dizzy species in the galaxy. Holy shit, if that's how they, like, traverse the cosmos. It's like a laundry machine. Like a washer. It looks more like a big hat being taken away by a strong gust of wind. That's a frisbee in slow-mo. No, it more looks like it's something like a septic tank or something that fell out of an airplane and they reversed the footage. So after it hit the water, they just reversed the footage and they just have it tumbling. Like that, I feel like I'm just watching something in reverse like that. My theory on why a super advanced extraterrestrial species might have become interested in nuclear materials in the 1940s. What? If they can visit our planet, surely they wouldn't care about nuclear materials. They would have literally cracked faster than light travel to get here. Why would they care about nuclear material? I just want to see this UAP again. If this case is genuine, after watching the film, I'm 90% convinced that there is no other plausible explanation, and perhaps abduction's claims are also true. From this? Bro, if this is accurate, if there are tiny little aliens in there, I no longer have anything to fear from them. Because they will not even be able to... They'll be walking around like they're fucking drunk. If this is how they travel. Literally blasting against the sides of a small metallic object. They're just getting pinballed in there. You don't know how they work? True, I guess they could be like gyroscopic. Everything's tumbling around them, but they're perfectly still. In that case, why have everything tumble, though? Oh, even they're making fun of it. Okay, so maybe they don't actually believe it. That might be sarcasm. I didn't think it was a bird until I saw this filtered video. The white looks like wings flapping up and down to me, with reverse colors due to one of the filters. I actually didn't even consider a bird. It looks metallic. It really looks like a piece of something that just fell off and got taken by wind. I think he's absolutely right, though. Hold on. Looking at it again, it does look like these are wings. Yep, that might just actually be a bird. Analysis here. What in the fuck is... What is this? Oh. Alright, so the majority of these are just talking about how it's likely a bird, but then there's some that are doing deep Zodiac Killer level analysis on it. I don't understand, though. Where are the other angles that you were talking about? Oh, here we go, here we go. What the fuck? That actually looks like a ball that just gets taken up. Yeah, I don't know, maybe that's not a bird? I don't know. What a weird, goofy thing. It's a fucking beach ball. Maybe? I don't know. If this is like the speed of it, though, what kind of bird can go that fast, like, upwards? Thanks to Maya, I learned hawks can dive at like 300 miles per hour, so if it was going down, I'd believe it's a hawk. But this is going up, right? Is this a spaceship made out of spider webs? What the fuck is that? Okay, so this is clearly not the same event. It looks like a badminton shuttlecock. So this isn't even the same event, and it's still here.
I'm on Glenstone in Springfield, Missouri. That is a cube spinning on an axis. Flickering. It's got lights around it.
A cube?
Middle of the day.
What? I guess he can see it better than I can. Shit looks like the golden snitch. These are the smallest aliens ever. I don't think it's aliens, though. That would be wild if... I would love if it was aliens, though. That would be great. It's fucking balloons. There's probably some experiment. Bro, I don't think this is an experiment. I think this is something very simple, like a really simple explanation. I don't think it's an experiment. I don't think it's aliens. I think it's probably something very easily explained that got taken by strong winds here. Like, I mean, if we want to go like full fantasy or sci-fi here, I guess there is a multiverse out there where this is a small alien surveillance drone. I guess. Explain that now. What, the triangle? Are you talking about this? Alright, let's put on our thinking caps for a moment. Why would aliens visit this planet covertly while also having 4 giant lights and a Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer blinking on it? This is absolutely just a normal drone. Okay, but what if it wasn't? There would be no one happier with the confirmation of a real alien visitation than me. I want these to be real. I want to make that clear. It would make me extremely happy. Since I was an actual infant, my dad has been telling me for years, aliens have visited our planet and we're going to see them one day. I would love that. My dad and I would talk for hours about it. But I don't think the triangle or the tiny little ball bearing that gets taken into the sky here is those aliens. I guess it could be D.B. Cooper's spacecraft too, yeah. I guess you never really know.
Right over our heads. Pointing it right at him. And now he's turning.
Whoa, whoa!
Yeah.
You scared him!
Yeah, it just flashed. I'm lasering at him.
God, they're gonna blow up our fucking planet. Stop pranking him. Stephen Greer has an app called CE5 Contact that teaches you how to perform a seance and summon UFOs. In the documentary Close Encounter of the Fifth Kind, you can supposedly see it working. I might need to learn that seance. Ever had a personal alien/UFO encounter? No, But if you ask that question to my dad, he's going to tell you the same story he tells everyone else anytime it gets brought up. My dad is convinced that one time he and I saw a UFO together. We were on a lake and there was a big bright light in the sky. I don't remember exactly like how bright or anything like that, but I remember it being a big bright light in the sky. And my dad and I looked at each other and he pointed at it and I was like, "Hey, I see it." And then when we looked back, it was gone. And my dad is convinced that that was legitimate aliens that were watching us. I don't think it was the sun because it was past sundown, but at this point it's been so long that it might have just been the sun. I don't know. If I had to guess, it was probably just like an actual like plane that was moving fast and low. Because it was sundown, so you could definitely see plane lights in the sky, but it was lower than you would expect. But I'm guessing it was probably a plane. Especially since that lake was near an airport anyway. Why do you refuse to believe the truth? I just don't think that was aliens. Like, why would the aliens fly a goddamn spotlight to our planet? Why would they come here in a giant disco ball ship that's super bright over a lake? Why would they do that? That makes no sense. We would do a lot of mundane shit too if we invade another planet like aliens did. I just don't think so. I think if we found life on another planet, we'd first try to covertly study it. Like if we found them and they didn't know we were there, we would absolutely try our absolute utmost to not disturb them or alert them to our presence. 100%. And then we'd try and conquer them. Once we learned whether or not we were technologically advanced more than they are. Like, it wouldn't make any sense to immediately go to the planet and try and host like a rave. Like, I don't think we would fly to a distant planet, another solar system, and bring, you know, like, Deadmau5 out and the whole crew to, like, party on the planet right away. We'd, like, ease into it. I recently learned about a community on YouTube who uses something called light language to channel and communicate with aliens. And I just found it to be truly wild, so I've been practicing my light language, but I've been unable to get them on the line. I guess I just have bad service to the cosmic entities out there. So I fear my third eye may be forever closed. I might never experience the joy of tapping into that intergalactic Wi-Fi and communicating with these spacefaring organisms. However, not all is lost. I found a great YouTube channel called Skylife that actually did a really interesting video on it where she met with and interviewed an individual who claims to be able to communicate with aliens. I guess more accurately, she's able to allow alien communication through her as like a vessel. Kind of like in SpongeBob when they have the magic conch. Like, she is the human magic conch for the 5G extraterrestrials out there. Now, this should go without saying, but I'm going to say it anyway in my own version of light language. Do not go harass anyone in this video. Don't be a fucking douchebag. No matter how you feel about alien channeling or communication or anything like that, just don't be a fucking asshole. One thing that I've learned about recently, I haven't watched this video, but there is I think she's a YouTuber who talks to aliens. And it's kind of similar to the Kundalini. She's able to tap into the alien hierarchy and speak their language to us.
If I weren't experiencing this reality, it would seem insane to me.
Do you believe you're an alien?
Definitely. I can open up a portal, speak your own version of light language as well.
See, like, I feel like aliens communicate with just orgasms. Because every time there's an alien channeler, they're just constantly busting.
Activation vibration.
Do we have anyone fluent in light language that can translate? Like, I know I couldn't pop that in a Babelfish. Shit would just explode. You have any experts? You're dog shit, kid. Okay. I mean, that's awfully long-winded for such a short sentence, but who am I to question the aliens?
They actually feel that they've come to Earth.
That was pretty low effort. At least the other ones are putting effort into making it sound like almost a language. Hers is just quiche, quiche, quiche.
They actually feel that they've come to Earth from another part of the galaxy. She's coming.
Quiche, mama, quiche, quiche.
For like 2 years.
Welcome.
I've been feeling you like you've been coming through the realms recently.
What does that mean, coming through the realms?
Like you've been appearing in different realities, your name.
So I believe you're understanding the gist of it, where it's individuals who enter a trance-like state. Like, you know when you're really fucking turbo gaming and you just enter this flow state where everything just starts connecting? They enter that zone and then start speaking light language, which is their way of communicating with aliens, I believe, at least to my understanding. Now, one thing that I'd like to immediately question here is whether or not the individual Skylife is meeting with is actually the human or aliens using her like a fucking meat puppet. You know, there's no way of confirming whether or not there's a human soul in that body anymore, because maybe she went too deep. She got too lost into the cosmic vibrations, the chakras, and the aliens, you know, like you stare too long in the abyss and it stares back into you. The aliens have now taken over that body, right? Kind of like in Peacemaker with the butterflies. What a lovely portal.
Where I live, we call it the portal.
Really? There's a
Whoa.
resonant vibe.
There's lots of synchronicities happening already.
There's so much nothing words.
Sekhmet.
What does that mean?
It's actually the
So
lion
many
goddess from
synchronicities
Egypt.
and
He's a guy,
quarks.
but genders are. There's different crystals actually
I
aligned
saw a
throughout
bottle
the
of
place,
brain juice.
all set with intention to like hold a specific frequency so that you feel good, so that you feel nourished, so that you feel loved.
That's my favorite frequency. Is that FM or AM?
Can we talk about this beautiful altar?
Yeah, she likes
we have a
Shungite
bunch of
and shit,
different
which is
things
cool.
That are energetically represented.
Rest in peace, any
and, like,
Wi-Fi
symbolic
signals trying to
of
penetrate
certain
here.
frequencies to invoke. Though I haven't eaten meat in 11 years,
Wow.
actually, until I just did ayahuasca 2 weeks ago, and I had
What's
this whole
that?
thing come through where it was like I partly identify with the fact that I've been vegan, that I haven't eaten meat for over 11 years, and I'm like, I need to dissolve that ego.
I want to sit down and really
Yes.
dive into all of this.
Let's do it.
So let's go back to.
I like to imagine that situation. Fuck, I've been vegan for 11 years. I'm becoming too self-centered. Fucking starts blasting chicken nuggets and chicken wings. Alright, good. Now I'm humbled again. Back to being vegan. This story here really confused me. It was like veganism tenet. Like, I don't really know what she was trying to say. So I looked up ayahuasca because I'd never heard of that before. And it's apparently a plant-based psychedelic. So she basically had a trip and then was like, damn, I partly identify as being vegan. Which would make sense, right? Like, if you made the choice to be vegan, you should fully identify as being vegan. So why is it partly? And why is she looking at it as a negative thing? Perhaps this was like one of those weird out-of-body experiences. Like when Doctor Strange blasts fucking Spider-Man's soul out of his body and Tom Holland is like floating outside and he's like, damn. She must have had that happen. Like the ayahuasca just split soul from vessel. And she was like, shit, that's a vegan. And then what? Like, I don't know if because she said she didn't eat meat for 11 years until she did ayahuasca, so I'm assuming when she did, she started just fucking pounding meat, like gluttonous, grabbing pork, duck, veal, lamb, you know, all kinds of shit. Like, that's the impression I got. Like, she was a vegan for 11 years until ayahuasca, where she had this epiphany where it's like, gee willikers, I guess I was vegan. Time to dissolve that for some reason. And it might be my fault because I'm not fluent in light language, so I have a hard time wrapping my head around a concept this big brain, this galaxy brain. Like in the cosmic scale of intelligence, I'm still down here at like the primordial ooze, and she's somewhere towards like a level 3, like a type 3 civilization intelligence, I think. Because I couldn't even spell ayahuasca. I thought ayahuasca was like a small town somewhere in the Midwest. I didn't know it was a psychedelic or anything. And when I was Googling it, I had to spell it like 20 different ways before I finally found the correct spelling for the plant-based psychedelic. So really, it's probably just my lack of understanding because my brain isn't like truly opened. I'm not using 150% of all my neurons.
What's it called? A hand drum?
A handpan, but it's a space drum. It is
a UFO.
It's actually a spaceship.
In your lab.
It's a
that
cosmic
plays
instrument.
Sound frequencies that are like cosmic binaural beat sound frequencies that register to certain parts of your brain and activate certain awarenesses and consciousness.
It's like the secret space program instruments.
Feel. Same thing as light language.
I don't understand.
Unlocking our memories from our spacefaring days.
How do I do it?
It's kind of like I would love to.
I'd love to talk to
create a
some aliens,
space,
please.
A container to where you feel comfortable.
Say
and
what's
if you
up.
feel called to allow your soul
They have
to speak
Fortnite
your
out
own
there?
version of light language as well. And as I was meditating, these 3 light beings appeared on each side of my bed, like kind of what you would think an alien would look like, where they were really tall, their heads were different shapes, and their arms and their legs were more lengthy, and they had maybe about 3 or 4 fingers I couldn't fully see, but they weren't.
You communicated with a Ninja Turtle.
Emanations of light. I woke up
you were awake.
I was awake.
Imagine
I was not sleeping.
Mikey's just communicating with her.
Lifted
It's like, I just need a
out my
pizza.
light body so I could see it. Almost. I started thinking about Arcturians. Arcturians.
Oh,
what are
yeah.
Arcturians?
So the name Arcturians just...
Real quick, just to connect everything here, this is so serendipitous she decided to bring this up. I mean, maybe we are vibrating on the same frequencies thanks to this portal. The SSP, Secret Space Program, that's very big in Arcturians. So the Arcturians, they're a spacefaring lizard race, and they can also have shape-shifting abilities as well as vampirism. I think they can also be werewolves as well. So really, it all kind of blends together. So she might be speaking the truth. She could be a Secret Space Program member. Yeah, I'm sure all of you that accept the truth of our universe are very familiar with the Arcturians. Very cunning, very intelligent beings out there. In Mass Effect, I'm sure they were somewhere in the Citadel as well. They're something that always gets brought up in pretty much every single conspiracy theory, that at least ones that involve space. I don't exactly understand why, but somehow Arcturians just always find their way into these communities.
Fully relaxing your nervous system.
Can we move the cat? It's gonna get caught in the crossfire beams. Oh shit. Fuck, I'm starting to transcend. And I don't even have like the eucalyptus oil on me or whatever. Oh my god. Oh, Kalimba!
Shwarasiki asha salafwa kapi as asham indiki asha safua.
It's coming!
It still.
Which is natural and normal, and that's a part of the fun, where it's like we forget so that we can remember.
My fear is that I'm just gonna make things up.
At first it may feel like that, but you have to give yourself permission, because that's still the ego doubting.
It's like
I'm gonna
the
be
exact
speaking to
opposite,
you
I would
as
think.
well. It'll be a conversation.
So from what I can tell here, the ritual, the sacred ceremony to start summoning the aliens here to our dimension consists of just laying down while having obscure instruments being played over top of you, I guess, to align your vibrational, frequency with the correct space frequency or something. I like when she brought out the kalimba, though. I actually had a kalimba myself for a while that I can't find now. Perhaps some kind of cosmic burglar came in to steal it because maybe kalimbas are too powerful an instrument. Maybe I was pretty close to summoning a dangerous alien here. But I had this kalimba and I could play the Teriyaki Boys on it from Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift. The dun 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 dun. Yeah, I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. So I was a little disappointed to see that she didn't break out into that solo there and get that pumping, because that probably would have summoned some fucking badass aliens. Like, the aliens would have come in and start talking about, like, fucking horsepower, diesel, suspension, shocks, and carburetors. They probably wouldn't have even summoned an alien, and they just probably would have brought in Dominic Toretto or something. I also really like that line, "We forget so that we can remember." That's basically just a Mudvayne song, "Forget to Remember." So maybe they're summoning the spirit of Mudvayne, I guess, trying to get that band back together.
Okay, so like bring your energy into our hands and let's activate
that was
the
profound.
energy. And so we're just gonna
Speak
be
it.
kind of moving the torso.
Come on, let's go. Oh, she's falling into the galactic stream of vibrations. The chakras. Oh, fuck! It's a close encounter with the third kind! Be careful! It's too much energy! She's gonna go turn into Dr. Manhattan! Who am I communicating with? Who's on the horn? Banish it! Ah! Get out of this realm! No! She's too deep! Alright, we're coming down. Fuck, that was close. She was tapped into the mainframe.
Yeah, sick. Yeah.
Oh, now she's communicating with an alien comedian, huh? What's he saying? Good Lord. Jesus! Let her go! Oh God, no! Jesus, have some class! These fucking cosmic beings! Stop it! Oh my God. Where did she travel?
Okay, that's it.
Alright, sounds good.
The adventure continues.
Yep. Bye-bye. That was interesting. You know, that was pretty good. Skibbity-dee-dee, boop-bada-bop. Boom-bottom-bop. That was me saying goodbye in light language. It does seem cathartic to just get the wiggles out and like just have a full body exorcism like that. I imagine that probably feels pretty good. I don't know if it necessarily makes me a believer in the communication with aliens through light language, but if nothing else, as long as it makes them happy, I guess that's what matters. You know, it's not hurting anyone. It's pretty harmless. Just yeah, thought it was a pretty interesting and fun community to talk about and share a bit of. And anyway, that's really about it. So yeah. That guy's got the fucking iron jaw right there.
We are the Yael. We are the Yael. We are the Yael, and we would like to be of service
Holy
to you
shit.
today, if we can, in any form, in any
Looks
way
like the
you
Crimson
wish.
Chin out here.
That we're going to be having consensual sex with these extraterrestrials.
Fuck yeah! When do we go to the Citadel with, you know, all the other races,
sort of,
Krogan,
a blend
Solarians and shit?
From what I understand, they view us as basically completely insane. When they see us,
I can't imagine why. If aliens are actually talking to us and this is their vessel, I imagine they have the worst impression of us.
Create money to me as Tahinia Ra. He's almost like
This
me.
guy's not even like an alien
It's
whisperer.
quite
He's
weird
like
when I
a
first saw him,
Tinder
'cause
for
it's actually me
aliens.
and another
Like he's
person.
our Tinder,
so, yeah,
and the aliens are swiping left on us, unfortunately.
In a way like that.
But what I'd like to talk about today is how it affected my consciousness.
Do you have any
spiritual
proof?
transformation I went
Sorry to
through
use
as
that
a
word around these
result
parts, but
of this contact.
how do I know you
I
actually
hesitate
contacted the
to call it a
Yayeli?
result of the contact.
Bringing in the Yael, bringing in the Yael.
Oh, he raps.
Stars, on earth they will dwell. Bringing in the Yael.
Move over, Lil Nas. We got a new #1. Get out of here, Old Town Road. I'm gonna scroll down and I'm gonna see Juice WRLD commented.
Greetings, friends of the universe. Today we are going to talk about the Yael extraterrestrial race. Who are the
How many of you
Yael?
knew about the
Where do they
Yael?
come from? And
You guys
what
were
is
trying to
their
keep this a secret
connection
from
to
me,
our
weren't you? You
planet?
didn't want me to open my
Let's
third
do
eye.
it. They are part of our galactic
Where did you
family
guys get
and
these?
very similar to us
Did they send
in
you
their
this
physical
picture?
appearance, together with full and graceful race of hybrid beings which consider us as
Now, this
their
looks like an
creators
advertisement
and
for
parents,
Christian Mingle.
Since our DNA is the
It's like
primal
Alita
component
Battle Angel
in their
eyes and
biological
shit.
makeup. That are part of that collective as
What
well.
is this pose?
Which can be a little more different than
Did they
us
catch
in
him mid
appearance.
Fortnite dance? Just keep.
Expectancy is around 300 years.
They're only 5'5"?
They have 5 fingers on their
Fuck,
hands.
fuck
and 4
humans.
toes.
I'm going
They
for
have
Yael
ears,
girls.
thin lips,
I'll be a
and
god
large
amongst
eyes
them.
With larger
I'm
pupils
5'6",
than
bitch.
humans.
Oh my god.
The eye
I will
color,
rule the
in general,
Yael.
is green or blue, but
Take
there
it
are
easy,
other colors
Earth
as well.
virgins. I'm out.
The Yael extraterrestrial are beings that are connected to the infinite. In that connection,
Isn't that
they
just
want
like
us
a
to
bad
understand
Second Life
that there are
avatar
other
for the
forms
lady
of
from
life,
Lord of the
not
Rings?
only that of the Yael, Sasani,
The omniscient
and
elf lady that I'm
Pleiadian
blanking
human
on her name.
civilizations. They help us realize the
Oh,
magnificent
man.
and loving beings that we actually are.
Here's another dank Lord of the
As
Rings
connection
reference. That
between
looks like
us
Gollum.
humans and the
As a
Yael
Yael, of
civilization
course.
unfolds,
Actually, it
they
just
will
looks like
share
Gollum,
more
really.
information about their
No
history,
Yael DNA
our
found there,
history,
just
and
Tolkien
more
DNA.
information about where we come. This is the Yael symbol, with which can be used to access the Yael collective consciousness.
How the
By
fuck do you
focusing
use that
or
symbol to
meditating
access
on
the
this symbol,
consciousness? Put
you
it in a
are
notepad?
inviting, calling,
And then I just
and
have like a
connecting
fucking
with them.
acid
As
drip
they
into their
said,
consciousness?
We now have access to
You
achieve
download the
contact.
app.
They chose the
Yeah, I
symbol
scanned the
because it
Yael QR
represents
code to
the
jack
idea
in.
of a
It's the only
triangle.
way to communicate with them.
A triad as unfinished and incomplete. They say it symbolizes
Okay, everyone try
the idea
visualizing that
they
symbol
will
and
not
see if you
be
can communicate with them.
until they are reunited.
Don't come in
with
your
their
pants too
human
hard.
family, which is not only
Oh, I'm
us,
getting
the
a
Earth
conscious
humans,
signal
but
from a
also
Yael.
other human
They're
races.
saying they won't come
If you
until
often
everyone
see
subs
the
to
symbol
twitch.tv/moistcritical.
in meditations, deep mindful
This looks like a man that's channeled more than one Yael in his lifetime.
who are happy
Don't
to give us
objectify the
information
Yael, they're more
and
than just
aid us in
titties.
our ascension and spiritual growth,
They're big
and
eyes,
simply
too.
to exchange knowledge. We know this has been a long and hard journey for nearly
How
all
do
of
I
you.
know this came
It
from
has
a
been hard,
Yael?
bumpy ride, but there has been
Do you have like a
some joys
signature
along the
signed
way.
Mr. Yael?
We know
Ishua
that
of the
many of
Yael,
you are
perhaps?
tired, and some are in these limitations, and it is now started. In the year of 2012,
What?
you
Oh, is this
have
what the
reached
Mayan calendar was
critical edge.
predicting?
Your planet just got
The
over
end of
7
Earth
billion
because the
people,
Yael
and
make
you
us
are
come
now
too hard
more
or something?
positive than negative.
Nature. And with that in mind, dear one, in what way would you most enjoy moving
Is he
forward
blind?
together in
They
this
say
farewell
Yael
time?
channelers actually willingly stabbed out their own eyes in order to only see the collective Yael consciousness. He's a hero.
Familiar with the Earth humans and your planet? We then are of another planetary location.
Can you get some? I don't want to talk
And
to
in that,
Ishua anymore.
we
Can you get someone else on the
actually
line?
have Origination.
I don't like
of
his
more than
attitude.
one planet. There are.
Doesn't matter, because again, as we are willingly sharing our love with each and every single one of you, one way or another, there will be other aspects of
How are they
yourselves
sharing their
that
love?
will
I've never met a
achieve
Yael.
state of realization in regards
Ishua's
to
never
state of
talked to
growth.
me in a wet dream or
Is
something.
there a particular goal to us and allowing yourselves to expand divinely?
Brad, just
The whole
hang up on
idea-
Adronis. Tell him I'm not interested. No soliciting. Let's go back to Ishua.
This is commonly known as channeling.
What is this? The Yael took a pedophile? They communicate to us through our sex offenders? Jesus. E.T. encounters, explore the fear. That's like a tagline for a WWE cage match. This Sunday, the Yael are bringing some fat boners to the octagon. Explore the fear.